One of us is holding a mobile phone today, right? And if we look at the history of the mobile phone, roughly around few years back, it generally started with a basic calling facility. But if we look at our smartphones, it have many multiple facilities like good internet connectivity, healthy battery life, higher quality of processors, internet connectivity, as well as camera quality with high-end megapixels. Even the CPUs or the processors also went through a transformative changes. And what we have today are the processors with higher area of cores, high-end graphics, and fast execution speed. Not only the electronic systems, even if we look at our cars today, they came with automated braking systems, ADAS technology, and multiple sensors. So all these are nothing but the different aspects of semiconductor innovation. And VLSI is the prime technology which is responsible for it. So VLSI in simple term means integrating or embedding millions of transistors into a single chip, and also at the same time to make sure that the circuit is fitting into the hardware. And in the process of doing so, we need to take care of three parameters, which are power, speed, and area. So in short, the power consumption of any device should be as low as possible, the area requirement should be optimal, and the speed should be fast. But the journey of VLSI is not as straightforward as it seemed to be. It also goes through a number of transformative changes and evolution and technological changes. And due to that, before VLSI, as we can see from the slide, there are multiple different technology arrived. So basically, before the innovation of the solid state devices like our conventional transistors like bipolar junction transistor or MOSFET, it started with something called as a vacuum tube. So as the name suggests, it has no air. And the current is controlled with the help of two electrodes. So obviously, those kind of device became obsolete over a period of time. So primarily because of its two disadvantages. One, you can imagine it's bulky in nature, and the other is that the power consumption of such devices are very high. After that, over a period of time, the conventional transistors arrived, and we have solid state devices. But before VLSI, there are some other technology nodes like SSI, MSI, and LSI, which stands for small scale integration, medium scale integration, and large scale integration. And they are of different transistor counts. But VLSI is the technology which brings maximum amount of innovation. It's only because of the fact that it has the capacity to accommodate more number of transistors into a single chip. So in short, more the number of transistors in a device, more the number of features it can accommodate, whether it is your smartphone, processor, semiconductor chips in the car, or any other system. So overall, VLSI can be subdivided into primarily two categories. One is the front end, and the other one is back end. Front end is the part which deals with the, you can say, the design and the verification of the circuit, and the back end is the part which deals with the layout, like how the chip looks like, its interconnection between the different blocks, then placing the logic cells into the block, and all those routing plans, how the chip looks like when it got integrated into a processor, smartphone, all those kind of things are in the back end. So front end again is divided into two parts, the RTL design and the verification. RTL design mostly related to the designing of the modeling or designing on the modeling of the circuit, and the verification part confirms that the design is working as per the expected specification or it's working as per the expected standard. So one more thing I want to add here is that, as I earlier told, the number of transistor. Along with that, the type of transistor is also important. So that's why MOSFET is a preferred choice over bipolar junction transistor, and it's the reason because the power consumption of such devices are very low. But as we all know, the most unique and the innovative ideas occur at the intersection of multiple different technologies. So one technology alone cannot provide the answer to all questions. So we need to think beyond the horizon to connect the dots among multiple different technology which can give birth to the next future innovation. So what is the solution for that? So the solution is that lies in the Industrial Revolution 4.0 and 5.0, where we have multiple different technologies like AI, big data, embedded systems, IoT. So these are basically governed by cyber physical system. So that means over a period of time, the machines become intelligent enough and it can cooperate with the other machines, try to detect their faults and even rectify them. In short, it promotes automation, and for that it requires continuous upskilling between the humans and the machines. So over a due course of time, what happened, like the humans can do the complex task and the machines can do our routine or the boring task. So if we look at the next slide, one of the key technology that emerged out of this industrial revolution as the winner is AI, which has the potential to bring the next future wave of innovation. AI can be broadly classified into primarily three categories, like ANI, AGI, and ASI. ANI, as we all know, is our today's AI, which is artificial narrow intelligence. AGI and ASI, which signifies general intelligence and super intelligence, are still in theories. So today's AI, in conjunction with different ML algorithms like supervised and unsupervised, has already disrupted multiple different sectors and industries. Like today's AI can able to analyze the medical images of a patient and can diagnose the disease in a much more efficient way. AI can also adapt the learning of a student and provide him the study material as per his strength and weakness. Our self-driven cars is also a concept of AI. Moreover, today's AI is also can detect the financial fraud by monitoring the transactions. But here, the big question is that how I can leverage this AI to boost the impact of semiconductor or to give birth to the next wave of innovation. So as I earlier mentioned, as a VLSI engineer, the number of transistors fitting into a single chip is an important factor. But as a ASIC verification engineer, I need to ensure when a product is going into the market, it is completely bug-free or defect-free. So for that, I need to execute multiple different test scenarios, set up regression machines, and need to execute those test scenarios into that. For that, it requires manual time and effort, and meeting the time to market becomes a critical factor. So here, AI can help. With the help of AI, or so to say machine learning, I can train a model, and that model can able to anticipate a test scenario which can find a loophole in the design, which a human being might not able to find out in a critical time. Other application of AI is in the EDA tool optimization. Nowadays, the EDA vendors are coming up with the tools in which the ML-based engine are inbuilt within it, so that they can verify a design faster, covered all the required metrics required for sign-off. One more application of AI today in the semiconductor is in the pattern layout. As I earlier mentioned, the backend generally deals with the layout of the chip. So here also AI is a critical factor because it can able to depict or detect correctly the layout of a chip and the different interconnection. One more area of AI in which semiconductor can be beneficial is in the image signal processing domain. Nowadays, we have convolutional neural network and recurrent neural network, where AI is very useful in making the image quality better, the blur correctness, and also the noise and the crosstalk reduction. Similarly, there is one more technology, like through which semiconductor can be beneficial or more innovative technologies can arrive. That one is blockchain. Okay, So blockchain, as we all know, is a distributed database in which all the blocks are connected in a peer-to-peer fashion. So in short, it promotes decentralization and ownership. Like AI, blockchain has also disrupted many industries today. Like cross-border payment has become fast because there is no central authority that is monitoring the transaction between the sender and the receiver. And due to that, the execution is fast. The transaction cost that has been levied is less. Moreover, supply chain management has become smooth because every transaction has been recorded from the source to the destination, and its traceability and transparency is also more. Real estate is one more sector that has become impacted because of blockchain, because of the execution of the smart contract. A smart contract is nothing but a kind of a self-executing code which is running on the blockchain, and once it is pushed into the network, no one can able to modify it. And due to that, the tenant and the owner has to abide by the rules of that. Carbon footprints has become negative, and nowadays we are using this term negative in the positive sense. Legal cases are getting fast-tracked because of the number of jurors that has been involved in that to complete a case in a faster and efficient way. One of the key factors in the legal case which has already been implemented is an Aragon court in Switzerland. They are already completed the pilot testing, and it's working in a very efficient way. So, but here there is a catch with AI. The catch is that, like AI, blockchain cannot be implemented in a direct way into the semiconductor, or so to say any project, because confidentiality and privacy is involved while working in a project, or so to say in any company. So for that, all the advantages which I mentioned earlier comes under the category of the public blockchain, which cannot be implemented directly in a project execution lifecycle. So here comes the importance of a permission blockchain. Hyperledger Fabric is such a blockchain which has been used by the enterprise because its nature is permission and private. So what does it mean? Unlike public blockchain, it will provide the access right only to certain group of users in the network. And it does this with something called as a membership service provider and a certificate authority. Whoever has this certificate authority has the access to the network, and the other people can't gain any access to the network for the required project. And its consensus mechanism through which multiple people can agree to a certain point is relatively faster. Transaction speed is faster as compared to the public blockchain, which is roughly around 15,000 per second for a permissioned one, and is around 20 per second for a public blockchain. So you can imagine the type of transaction speed in case of Hyperledger Fabric as compared to any public blockchain. So now how I can leverage it into the semiconductor, or we can boost it into the future innovations. So with the help of blockchain, multiple engineers can work at the same time without worrying about the fact that the other person has to push the code into the central database, because each and every person has the transparency of the code, and each one can execute or access that code at that particular convenient time. One more advantage is that, as I earlier mentioned, as a ASIC verification engineer, I need to write multiple test scenarios to check any defect in the design, or there is any bug sitting in the design or not. So due to that, the server becomes overhead with unwanted data and logs. So here, blockchain can also help, because with the help of the blockchain, the low-end test scenarios can be pushed to make the server less clumsy and make our lives a bit simpler for the project execution lifecycle and meeting the time to market. So primarily, these are the two technologies which has already disrupted many industries and also helpful in boosting the impact of multiple different other technologies which are coming in the future. Last but not the least, I want to end the talk with a simple thought. One technology cannot be the answer to all questions. And that's why we need to think beyond our horizon and immerse ourselves in the imagination so that we can push the boundaries of innovation and bring a positive impact into the society. Thank you.